Welcome, everyone, to Courageous Creative Conquerors. This is Jean Boyce Dart, author, therapist, coach, and teacher, and your host. What matters is expressing from the heart, and the creative and expressive arts are a healthy coping strategy that shifts us from trauma to triumph. So join me as we listen and learn key tips and techniques from our special guest and courageous creative conqueror. Hi, everybody. Jean Boyce Dart here with Courageous Creative Conquerors. I'm delighted to be here with my friend Norman Gordon. Hi, Norman.
Hey Jean, how are you feeling today?
Wonderful. I'm so happy to be here with you. It's always fun to be here with you. And here we are on Courageous Creative Conquerors. And if anybody is one, you are, my friend. I know you are courageously creative. So, what does that mean to you with your life journey about being courageous and tapping into your creative flow and using that to help you get through tough times and conquering your fears, overcoming things and obstacles in your path? How are you a courageous creative conqueror?
And thank you so much for asking that question. Let me say greetings to everyone. Jean, I went through some really tough times. What I like about my journey is this. It taught me well. Through my experiences, I am able to be brave enough to put my stories out there, whether in writing or reading. The courage comes from being able to put this story together. The conqueror in me allows me to take hold of the situations. Thank you so much.
Tell us about that because you've shared some really interesting things with me about how you work with that for creative flow.
Thank you so much. Now, Jean, at an early stage of my life, being this young man who was raised on a farm, whenever something bothered me, whenever difficult situations, right, arise, my go-to place would be nature, communicating with the birds, the trees, the leaves. And at that point in my life, I could have seen where nature had a great impact on my life because I was able to see and feel a sense of healing through the way the trees and insects and animals behave. Now, I was inspired by what I saw, and I could easily put things on paper.
Could you share with us like a tip if somebody's out there right now and they feel lost financially, they're going through troubles, maybe they have a situation like you had where they're stuck in a relationship that's hurtful, domestic violence, child abuse. Um, or maybe they're just going through some chronic illness, they're feeling depressed. What's a tip for them to say, get out and experience some healing through writing, through nature? Can you give some tips?
Yes, so I have a solo book coming out. The title is Thriving Through Faith from Suicidal to Service. As a life coach, I pride myself in connecting to people because through my healing, I was able to connect with myself, to those persons who are facing difficult situations right now. I want to say to you, it's saddening to know that you're facing this uphill task. And I want to say to you, You're not alone. These are some of the tools that helped me. Think about this. Even though the situation is hard, you matter most. Think about the you in this situation. What is it that you love to do? Do you love to write? Do you love to bake? Do you love to cook? Do you love to sing? What aspect of life can you give your artistry to right now? Take a walk out in nature. Embrace the beautiful things out there. Make a connection that's deep enough to inspire you to write about what you see, to interact with what you see. Visit your pantry. What's in your pantry right now that you can put together to bake something special? Look around you inside that house right now. What items can you put together to create a craft you'll be proud of yourself for? It's not about being perfect. Just express yourself the way you want to.
I love
Please.
that. I love that. Preach it, Norman. Preach it.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
you're very empowering in the way that you speak. You definitely compassionately care about people out there. And so, what shifted in you? You talk about faith and how important that was for your survival. Has that always been something for you? And what shifted that led you to be who you are today, out there helping others and making a difference in this world? What was that moment when it shifted?
In 1983, it's hot here. My mom made a decision to part company with my dad. We started attending church. The church we were attending, there were songs there that inspired me. And I used those songs in my daily walk. And that's where I was connected to faith. My spirituality was activated at that time. And I've always been looking to that Christ-like aspect of life. Now, when my mother left that church, she was a Sabbath school teacher at the other church because we attended church on a Saturday. And I was given the opportunity to teach the children around me. My atmosphere for serving started right there. And I was so connected to those children. They were my age, but some of them were not that functionally literate. So I was able to be there with them. And I found out that the more I was there for them, the closer I got, the more I wanted to do. I traveled with that. And here I am now, serving even more.
Well, we are so grateful that you are serving. You just have so much to offer. And I love what you do online, sharing your poetry and your thoughts and your little videos out in nature. Um, and you're also working with me with this upcoming book, Brave Families. I want to talk about that a little bit and your chapter. What makes this chapter different than the other books that you participated in? In Brave Families, our subtitle is The Ultimate Guide to Long-Lasting Loving Relationships. So it's about all that happens in families, and certainly you had quite a load in your family, all that was going on, the dynamics there. But the key point is how do we find those long-lasting, loving relationships and maintain that. And I know you're a man of integrity. You're a man that knows how to keep that joy in his heart at all times, keep that love, and you give it to your family. So,
Now, thanks also to my beautiful Abby for encouraging me on the path. I want to say, Jean, going back to about 1982, I was walking down a terrain and I heard a voice saying, my grandson. Now I was about 5 years old. When I looked back, it was my grandmom.
oh,
And I was,
wow.
yes, and I was walking behind this man. Each step the man made, I was making them as well. So this man was like, could be over 6 feet. And I was there every step of the way as a little boy. Now, when my grandmother said that to me, I felt a sense of empowerment. Now, when this project came around, Brave Families, I thought about my grandmother because she indeed empowered me. I remember how I got familiar with the word tithes that they through at church. My grandmother came to me one Sunday. I was about 9 years old and said to me, write tithes on this envelope. I didn't know to spell the word, but I did my research because I have my dictionary. And I found out that she really cared about me. Yes, no, also, she was brave because I remember how she operated her business establishment, how she got up early in the mornings to, you know, bake the confections, among other things. And I said to myself, she fits this story.
You know, it's so important to have someone in our lives, such as your grandmother, whether it's an uncle, a sibling, whatever, whoever it is, neighbor. It could be a chosen family member, and that's what this book is about. It's all different. We really open up the definition of family, and I think for all of you out there, I encourage you to open your definition of family. Find your community, find friends. You might feel like I'm alone. I don't, a lot of times after COVID or trauma, through the past years, so many things have happened in our world, and many people find themselves in isolation and fear. And maybe they were taught, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything. They're taught these things. And so people are trying to just hide it and stuff it, and that's what makes us sick. Before we stop, um, I would love for you to just give a exercise, a quick tip tool. We only have just a couple minutes here. Something that they can do out there if right now they're feeling depressed, they're feeling isolated, alone. What's something they can do?
Thank you so much for that, Gene. Please pause for a moment. Irrespective of what you're going through, think about you right now. Get a writing pad, get a pencil or pen, and just draw a heart, the image of a heart. I want you to think about that heart right now. And in thinking about that heart, think about you. See yourself on that paper being the heart. What 3 words Can you write in that right now to remind you of how wonderful you are, irrespective of what you're going through? What three words? I can write, I love you. I can write, I do care. I can write, you are amazing. I can write, I am amazing. Which of those three words can you give to yourself right now? Thank you so much for that, G.
Oh, that was wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, my three words. I am valuable. Yeah.
I am valuable.
Yes. If someone wants to reach out to you, how can they reach you?
All right, thanks for asking that question. All right, so my email address is islandthoughtsng@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram at thepoetryman9, one word. You can find me on Facebook as Norman Gordon or The Poetry Man. You can also
Very
find me
good.
on TikTok, right? And I'm
Very good.
always here. Thank you.
Thank you, Norman. It's always a pleasure to see you, and we'll be looking forward to seeing what new things are coming out from you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.